Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Weekly Money during the Corona era. Here is May 4th through the 8th.
You're good. 5 feet. Keep coming. 3 feet. Another foot. That looks can you lower it a bit? Just a little bit. Tad more forward. And if you can go this way. A little bit more. Yeah. That's pretty darn good.
It's Tuesday morning. Well, it's actually noon. First load of the week. And I just got to say, man, if it wasn't for my direct shippers, I don't know where I would be. And I don't have a lot of them. I only have 2 or 3 of them and some brokers that call me first before they even put loads on the load board. I have a handful of those that I've developed those relationships over time. But I got to tell you, if it wasn't for them, I don't even know how I would be making it. I've been watching some videos on YouTube of the guys in big rigs that, you know, they're fighting over loads at 70 cents a mile, which you can't even operate at that rate. I know for me, it's $1 a mile for the truck, for the company to run, never mind for profit. So I just want to, they probably won't even ever see this video, but heartfelt shout out to the direct shippers that, you know, that call me. Heartfelt shout out to the brokers that give me a shout out first, because you like me, because I've done a good job, because you like the rate that I offer, that I accept, even though I don't move cheap freight. I don't do those. But either way, I don't know if I'd make it without those folks. So I guess the reason for saying that to this audience is you need those. You can't just live on the load board. I heard that a lot when I was getting trained, just watching different videos on YouTube, getting started. And I was like, you can live off the load board. And for the most part, you can. But this Corona epidemic or pandemic, man, you really need more than just the load board, because everybody's, you know, stalking it. So to have loads that never hit there and they come to you directly, go all the way. Those are home runs. So right now I'm probably 40, 60, 40%, 30 to 40% private loads from direct shippers or from brokers that just call me directly, and, you know, 60 to 70% load board loads. And that makes the difference. So just want to put that out there. The Ready, Set, Prepare course is coming out 2 weeks from today, and one of the bonuses that I'm excited to add to this course is how I get direct shippers, or at least what's worked out for me to secure direct shippers and those first private phone calls from brokers before those loads get put on the load board. I successfully dropped off my OD load in Massachusetts, but it's too late in the afternoon now to pick up a load for today or tomorrow. So I just head back to the yard, unhitch the trailer, and head home for the evening. My trailer disconnection routine is automatic at this point, but I always make sure I pay attention. I reverse, I put down blocks so that my trailer stands don't have to go down that far, and then I jump in the bed of the truck, disconnect my lights, disconnect my emergency breakaway cord, pick up the pin so the trailer actually disconnects from the trailer, and of course my breakaway chains. Top of the morning to you. Got my hot coffee, got my Joel Osteen radio on. I'm good. This load is picking up at a United Rentals location and going to a United Rentals location in another state. And I'm not sure if you guys run into loads that go from, you know, large equipment rental places to another, but United Rentals does require you to have a third-party hauling safety requirement course under your belt. It's a whole $12, and I'm going to put a link in the description below, because if you guys do haul from United Rentals, which if you're in the Northeast, I'm sure you will at some point, it's worth taking the course. It's 45 minutes. It's just videos, and when you're done, you can print out a certificate. And when you get on site, they're going to ask you if you have it, and you'll have it. So they won't delay you. They won't deny your load. At least you'll have that under your belt. So it's really important. It's $12. The link's below. I've heard many of your questions here on YouTube and also in the comment section of the free course asking about securement, how I secure things, and why I do things the way I do. So here's a video showing exactly how I secured this piece of freight on the rear and on the front of the load. I placed it not so much directly over my axles, but over the axles a little bit to the front. I could have placed it over the axles. My axles carry 16,000 pounds. This was only about 8,000. But I just wanted to share the weight a little bit with the rear axle of my truck. I try to keep the weight off the rear axle of my truck as much as possible, especially on really heavy loads. But on this one, I figured, why not? I'll just push it forward a little bit. Always got to stop and check. Always got to read these signs. Thank goodness I did, because they did not want me out back. I checked in the office, they came out and got the information off the machine and told me exactly where to park. So it's always important to check in when you get on site. I'm a big fan of being prepared, and there's no better time to prepare for the next time you need your equipment than the last time you used your equipment. So I'm fully extending my binders so that when I need them next time, they're fully extended, ready for action, and I don't waste time. And I've got to make sure my money's right, so I snag one of the unloaders and have them sign off on my paperwork before they disappear onto their next task. This way I can factor my load, get paid, and get moving. You can see I have 3/4 of a tank and 261 miles to empty, but I do not play around with having low fuel and being in the middle of nowhere. So I'm filling up. Topping off my automobile. 295 on the New York Thruway. This is 87, Highway 87 going down. Basically it comes down from Maine all the way into New York. This is probably the most expensive fuel I've seen. But they can do it because there's nothing else around. And by the way, if you have glasses and you have to wear these masks, hopefully you're wearing your mask, I leave the bottom above my chin to where I'm still speaking into it, but it allows some air in as well so that it doesn't fog up my glasses. For those of you with glasses, hopefully that helps. All right, so I've taken a gamble today. I took a small load. It was 17 feet, but about half my deck space, paying $400 coming from maybe 20 minutes away from my house down to New Jersey. I loaded it yesterday. Yesterday was Wednesday, today's Thursday. I drove out here this morning. I actually started a little later because I had a delivery window of 8 to 12 p.m. So I got here around 11, which means I started my day at 10, about 6:30 or so. It didn't take me that long to drive. I was just putzing around. Anyway, so I just dropped off. I'm in Jersey, and the whole time I know that Jersey is a hopping spot, even in the Corona era. That's what I'm going to call it from now on, the Corona era. So even in the Corona era, it's slower moving freight out of Jersey. At least what I see is less than before. But Jersey is still a hot spot for loads going out. So I unloaded just now, and I'm literally sitting on the side of the road. I'm on the side of the road, hanging out, doing some editing on some videos, about to upload last week's Weekly Money episode. And I looked at the board, saw 2 different loads. One is an hour away, going to Massachusetts, which I'll grab. It's paying $500, about almost $3 a mile, like $2.75. The other load is 3 hours up north, which is the way I just came, but it's fine because it's going back to Connecticut, which is my home state. So grabbing either one of them is fine. That second load is paying $400. Somebody offered $450. I said, fine, I'll take the $400. It's still $235, $245 a mile. So I'm waiting back on both of those calls. I'll keep you posted. So yesterday in Jersey did not work out. My gamble was I'll go down there. There's always things moving in and out of Jersey. I'll grab something and come back northeast with it. That did not work out. And then something hit that I've been thinking about, but as of yesterday, I'm convinced that it's true, that it's real. There's a psychological component to this trucking thing. I'm gonna call it load depression. I was in Jersey yesterday, had sat for like 3-4 hours doing other stuff, YouTube stuff, video stuff, whatever, working on the course, working on the Ready, Set, Prepare course. But I'm watching the load board and nothing's popping up. And I'm getting like annoyed, I'm getting perturbed, I'm getting irate, I'm getting anxious. And I got to the point where I was like jumping out of my skin. I was pissed off and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I just got to get out of here. Literally, I deadheaded from Jersey to home because I was like, nothing's coming out in Jersey, going out of Jersey. So I called on a few loads, but I missed them, whatever. Got home, was with the family, reset button. And I know this trucking thing for most people is not about being home all the time. I get it. The way I do it is the way I do it. I get that too. So anyway, today I'm thinking after my emotions died down and I'm able to hit record, because yesterday I didn't want to record. I was absolutely furious. But now I'm thinking, whenever I have a load or I have a load booked and I'm headed toward it, or I know there's a load in the horizon because I've booked it or whatever, I'm happy as a pig. But let me be empty And like yesterday in Jersey, waiting for something, which doesn't really happen. I usually leave and I have things scheduled out, but it was a rare situation. But let me not have a load lined up, or let it be like Wednesday afternoon on a bad week and I haven't booked anything yet, and I start to get irritable. And I'm gonna call that load depression. I'm happy when there's a load on the trailer. I'm happy when I'm about to go pick up a load when I've booked it already and get it on the trailer. But when there's no load on the trailer, dude, and time is ticking, I'm not a happy camper. So let me know if I'm making this up. Let me know if you've experienced the psychological part of trucking and all that the way I've described it, or something similar. And I'm understanding now more firsthand what the guys that are going out of business now, or really, going through hard times right now, what they're experiencing. I mean, I've experienced this in the past. I'm just finally putting a name on it and sharing it with people other than outside of my own head. But anyway, that's that. And, my heart goes out to everybody who's out there really struggling in this trucking industry with the current economical climate. I just wanted to share that you're not alone. I'm going through it too. Thank goodness that I'm still booking loads. But nonetheless, my heart goes out to you, because I feel you. I literally feel you. I feel the anxiety. I felt all that. So the upside is I have a load on the trailer now. As you can see, it's Friday. I'm sitting on this till Monday. And then Monday I have this drop, a pick and a drop, and a pick going to New York on Tuesday. So next week is starting off well, but I understand what the valleys are like too. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that my goal is never to be pessimistic, but always to be 100% real and honest about things. So if you're thinking about jumping into this hotshot trucking business, realize there's a lot to it. You would do yourself a really good favor by downloading my free 6-part Learning How to Hotshot course. It's free. The link is in the comments below. It's also in the description below. Click it, watch it. It'll help you understand the business as a whole, which is a really good thing to do before you go out and buy a $50,000 truck and a $15,000 trailer. Just saying.